Hey guys, it's Bree. I thought I would do the reading habits tag today. So this is about 12 questions, shouldn't take too long. Um, I'll try to link the original video down below, but I know this has been popular for a while. So let's get to it. Do you have a certain place at home for reading? I do have a chair that's like my old grandma chair, is what we call it. And I sit there and I do a lot of reading there. But I kind of read all over. I especially like to read when I'm like laying on my belly, so I lay in bed a lot and read, which makes me sound terribly self-indulgent, but you know, you read where you're comfortable. Do you use a bookmark or a random piece of paper? I go back and forth. I don't really like have any fancy bookmarks. I have, like ribbon bookmarks or those metal bookmarks. I kind of just have flimsy cardboard cutout bookmarks. So going back and forth between that and just a random piece of paper has never been like a big deal to me. There was a long time where I just kind of used receipts or whatever was laying around. I still do that. So I guess both. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a certain point, like a certain amount of pages, or do you have to stop at the end of a chapter? The only thing I don't like to do when I'm stopping reading is I don't stop in the middle of a sentence. Other than that, I can pretty much stop whenever. I prefer to end at the end of like a paragraph, but if it's urgent, I will get up. Do you eat or drink while reading? I do often drink things while reading. I don't know if there's much better than sitting around with like a nice glass of wine or like a beer and just reading the evening away. I don't eat so much, especially I try to avoid eating messy things, but that has not always been the case. I have done quite a bit of like midnight reading where I've had terribly messy Cheetos, and so I have some books that are like smudged up, but I try not to do that anymore. Multitasking, music or TV while reading? Generally no, I just don't pay attention or I get distracted. So I try to avoid those. One book at a time or several at once? I generally focus on one book at a time. The exception would be if I'm listening to like an audiobook, because it's just easier for me to follow if I'm reading just one book at a time. Audiobooks are kind of the exception because you're, in the car or doing whatever. So it's a little bit of a different intake, so I can follow the two storylines a little bit easier that way. Reading at home or everywhere? Everywhere. Reading out loud or silently in your head? In my head. Do you ever read ahead or skip pages? There are a couple books where I've skipped pages. I'm not proud to say it. Those are generally books that I've been reading for like academic purposes. Some books where they kind of, Ayn Rand it out, 60 pages of lecture in the middle of your book. I sometimes will skip those, but I try not to, and I don't really look ahead. When I was a kid, I would look ahead because I'd get really nervous and I'd want to like make sure that the story wound up being okay and like whoever I was worried about didn't die. But as an adult, I don't do that so much. Break the spine or keep it like new? I don't care. I know that's not a popular thing on BookTube. Like a lot of people are really worried about the aesthetics of their book. Maybe it's just because I've had so many used books and so many books that I have kind of treated poorly over the years, but to me it doesn't matter. Having kind of a well-worn book is it's just part of the book's life cycle, right? Like it gives it character and it makes it so that it means more. I don't know, I'm kind of romantic about beaten up books. Do you write in your books? Mostly for academic purposes. I haven't really ever written in a book that was like fiction or that I was reading for fun. But I guess it's not something that's like sacred to me. Who do you tag? I don't know. If you haven't done this and you'd like to do this, you can do it too. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I'll probably see you on Friday for a wrap up. Until then, bye.